Book number 6. The substance of the universe is docile and pliable. The mind which governs it has in itself no source of evil doing. It has no malice, it does no ill, and nothing is hurt by it. By its guidance, all things come to be and fulfill their being. Lesson number 2. Act the part which is worthy of you. Regarding not whether you be stiff with cold or comfortably warm, whether you be drowsy or refreshed with sleep, whether you be in good report or bad, whether you be dying or upon some business. For death also is one piece of business of life, and here as elsewhere is it enough to do well what comes to our hand. Lesson number 3. Look within. Let not the proper quality or value of anything escape you. Lesson number 4. All that exists will very speedily change by rarefaction, if all substance be one, otherwise be dispersion. Lesson number 5. The guiding mind knows what its own condition is, how and upon what matters its done work is done. Lesson number 6. The best revenge is not to copy him that wronged you. Lesson number 7. Find your sole delight in recreation and proceeding from one unselfish action to another, with God ever in mind. Lesson number 8. The ruling part of you is that which rouses and steers itself, making itself what it wishes to be, and making all that happens take such appearance as it will. Lesson number 9. All things are accomplished according to the will of the universal nature. There is no other nature to influence them which either comprehends the former from without, or is contained within it, or exists externally and independent of it. Lesson number 10. The universe is either a confusion raveled and unraveled again, or else a unity compact of order and forethought. If it be the former, why should I wish to linger in amid this aimless chaos and confusion, or have any further care than how to become earth again? Nay, why am I disturbed at all? Dissolution will overtake me, do what I please. But if the latter be the case, I adore the ruler of all things, I stand firm, and put my trust in him. Lesson number 11. Whatever your situation forces trouble upon you, return quickly to yourself and interrupt the rhythm of life no longer than you are compelled. Your grasp of a harmony will grow sure by continual recurrence to it. Lesson number 12. Had you at one time both a stepmother and mother, you would respect the former, yet you would be more constantly in your mother's company. Your court and your philosophy are stepmother and mother to you. Return them frequently to your true mother, and recreate yourself with her. Her consultation can make the court seem bearable to you, and you to it. Lesson number 13. Keep these thoughts for meats and eatables. This that is before me is the dead carcass of a fish, a fowl, a hog. This Valerianian is but a little grape juice. Think of your purple robes as sheep's wool, stained in the blood of a shellfish. Such conceptions which touch reality so near and set forth the sum and substance of these objects are powerful indeed to display to us their despicable value. In this spirit we should act throughout life, and when things are great apparent warmth present themselves, we should strip them naked, view their meanness, and cast aside the glowing description which makes them seem so glorious. Vanity is a great sophist, and most imposes on us when we believe ourselves to be busy about the noblest ends. Remember the saying of Crates about the Xenocrates himself. Lesson number 14. Most objects of vulgar admiration may be referred to certain general classes. There are first those which hold together by cohesion or by some organic unity, such as stone, timber, figs, vines, or olives. The things which men a shade more reasonable admire are referred to the class which possesses animal life, such as seen in the flocks and herds. When man's taste is still more cultured, his admiration turns to things which can show a rational intelligence. But he admires this intelligence not as a universal principle, but only so far as he finds it expressed in art or industry, or indeed sometimes merely so far as it is exhibited by his retinue of artist slaves. But he who values rational intelligence as a universal thing and as a social force will care nothing for these other objects of admiration. He will above all things strive to preserve his own mind and all its rational and social instincts and activities, and to this end he will cooperate with any other its kind. Lesson number 15. Some things hasten into being, some hasten to be no more. Even as a thing is born, some part of it already is dead. Flux and change are constantly renewing the world, just as the unbroken flow of time ever presents to us some new portion of eternity. In this vast river, o'er whose bosom there is no tarrying, what is there among the things that sweep by us that is worth the prizing? It is as if a man grew fond of one among a passing flight of sparrows, when already it has vanished from his sight. Our life itself is much like a vapor of a blood or a drawing in of air. Our momentary actions of inhalation and exhalation are one in kind with that the whole power of breathing which yesterday or the day before we receive at birth, and which we must restore again to the source from whence we drew it. Lesson number 16. It is a small privilege to transpire like plants or even to breathe as cattle or wild beasts do. To feel the impressions of sense, to be swayed like puppets by passion, to herd together and to live by bread, all this is no great thing. There is nothing here superior to our power of discharging our superfluous food. What, then, is of value? To be received with clapping of hands? No, neither. Therefore is the applause of tongues more valuable, for the praise of a multitude are naught but the idle clapping of tongues. Dismiss the vanity called fame, and what remains to be prized. This I think in all things to act, or to restrain yourself from action, as best suits the particular structures of your nature. This is the end of all arts and studies, for every art aims at making what it produces well adapted to the work for which it was designed. The gardener, the vine dresser, the horsebreaker, the dog trainer all try for this. What else is the aim of all education and teaching? Here then is what you may truly value. This well won, you will seek for nothing more. Will you then cease valuing the multitude of other things? If you do not, you will never attain to freedom and self-sufficiency or tranquility. You cannot escape envying, suspecting, and striving against those who have the power to deprive you of your cherished objects, nor plotting against men who are in possession of that on which you set your heart. The man who lacks any of these things must of necessity be distracted and be forever complaining against the gods. But reverence and respect for your own intelligence will bring you to agreement with yourself, into concord with mankind, and into harmony with the gods, whom you will praise for all their good gifts and guidance. Lesson number 17. Upward, downward, round and round run the courses of the elements. But the courses of virtue is like none of these. It follows a diviner path, well directed in a way that is hard for us to understand. Lesson number 18. Strange are the ways of men. They can speak no good word of the contemporaries with whom they live. Yet they count it a great thing to gain the praises of posterity whom they never saw nor shall see. As well might we grieve because we cannot hear the praise of our ancestors. Lesson number 19. If a thing seems to you very difficult to accomplish, conclude not that it is beyond human power. But if you see that anything is within man's power, and part of his proper work, conclude that you may also attain to it. Lesson number 20. In the gymnasium, if someone scratches us with his nails, or in a sudden onset bruises our head, we express no resentment. We are not offended, nor do suspect him for the future as one who is plotting against us. We are on our guard against him, it is true, but not as against an enemy or a suspected person. In all good humor, we simply keep out of his way. Let us thus behave in other affairs of life, and overlook the many injuries which are done to us, as it were by our antagonists in the gymnasium of the world. As I said, we may keep out of our way, but without suspicion or hatred. Lesson number 21. If anyone can convince or shrew me that I am wrong in thought or deed, I will gladly change. It is truth that I seek, and truth never yet hurt any man. What does hurt is persistence in error or in ignorance. Lesson number 22. I do my duty, and for the rest am not distracted by anything which is inanimate or irrational, or which is lost or ignores the proper way. Lesson number 23. Use the brute creation and also all material things in the spirit of magnanimity and freedom which becomes him, who has reason in using that which has it not. Towards men who have reason, act in a social spirit. In every business call the gods to aid thee, nor trouble how long this business shall endure. 3 hours spent therein may suffice you. Lesson number 24. Alexander of Macedon and his Malter, when they died, were in a like condition. They were either alike resumed into the sentimental source of all things, or alike dispersed among the atoms. Lesson number 25. Consider all the many things, both physical and spiritual, that are adoring within each of us at the very same instant of time. You will wonder the less at the far greater multitudes of things, even all that is, which exist together in the one and all which we call the universe. Lesson number 26. Should someone ask you how the name Antonius is written, would you not carefully pronounce to him each one of the letters? Should he then begin an angry dispute about it, would you also grow angry and not rather mildly count over the several letters to him? Thus in life, remember that each duty is made up of a number of elements. We should observe all these calmly and without anger at those who are angry with us. We should set about accomplishing the task which lies before us. Lesson number 27. It is not cruel to restrain men from pursuing what appears to be their own advantage, and yet in a manner you deny them this liberty when you shew anger at their errors. Men are assuredly attracted to what seems to be their own advantage. Yes, you say, but it is not their advantage. Instruct them, then, and make their evident to them, but without anger. Lesson number 28. Death is the cessation of the sensual impressions of the impulses of passions, or the questionings of reason, and of the servitude to the flesh. Lesson number 29. It is shame and dishonor that in any man's life the soul should faint from its duty while the body still holds out. Lesson number 30. See to it that you fall not into Caesarism, avoid that stain, for it may come to you. Guard your simplicity, your goodness, your sincerity, your dignity, your reticence, your love of justice, your piety, your kindliness, your affection for your kin, and your constancy to your duty. Endeavor earnestly to continue such as philosophy would make you. Reverence the gods and help mankind. Life is short, and the one fruit of this and its world is a pure mind and unselfish conduct. Be in all things the disciple of Antoine. Imitate his resolute constancy to rational action, his level equability, his godliness, his serenity of countenance, his sweetness of temper, his contempt of vanaglory, his keen attempts to comprehend things. Remember how he never quitted any subject till he had thoroughly examined it and understood it, and how he bore with those who blamed him unjustly without making any angry retort. How he was never in a hurry, how he discouraged calumny, how closely he scanned the manners and actions of men, how cautious he was in reproaching any man, how free from fear, suspicion, or sophistry, how little contented him in the matter of house, furniture, dress, food, servants, how patient he was of labor, and how slow to anger. So abstemious was his life that he could hold out until evening without relieving himself, except at the usual hour. What a firm and loyal friend he was, how patient of frank opposition his opinions, how glad if anyone could set him right. How religious he was, and yet how free from superstition. Follow in his steps that you last hour may find you with a conscience as easy as his. Lesson number 31. Sober yourself. Recall your senses. Shake sleep from you and know that it was a dream that troubled you, and now that you are brought awake again. Regard the waking world as you did the dream. Lesson number 32. I am made up of a frail body and a soul. To the body all things are indifferent because it cannot distinguish them, and to the mind all things are indifferent, also which arise not from its own activities. All these are indeed in its own power, but it is concerned with only such of them as are present. Its past and future activities are indifferent to it now. Lesson number 33. No toil for hand or foot is against nature, so long as it is proper for hand or foot to do. No more than is it toil contrary to the nature of man, as man no long as he is doing work appointed for man to do, and if he not contrary to his nature, it cannot be evil for him. Lesson number 34. How many are the pleasures that have been enjoyed by robbers, rakes, parricides, and tyrants? Lesson number 35. Do you not see how common artificers, though they may humor the public to a certain extent, cling to the rules of their art and cannot endure to depart from them? It is not grievous, then, that the architect and the physician should shew greater respect for the rules of their several professions than man shews for his own reasons, which he possesses in common with the gods. Lesson number 36. Asia and Europe are mere corners of the universe. The whole sea is but a drop, aphos a clod. All the present is but an instant in eternity. All things are small, changeable, and fleeting. Everything proceeds from the universal intelligence, either directly or as a consequence. Thus the jaws of lions, poisons, all evil things, such as thorns or mire, are the consequences of the grand and the beautiful. Do not then imagine that they are foreign to what which you revere, but consider well the source of all things. Lesson number 37. He who has seen the present has seen all that either has been from all eternity or will be to all eternity, for all things are alike in kind and form. Lesson number 38. Consider frequently the connection of all things in the universe in relation to each other. All things are in a manner intermingled with one another, and are therefore mutually friendly. For one thing comes in due order after another by virtue of local movements, and of the harmony and unity of the whole. Lesson number 39. Adapt yourself to the things which your destiny has given you. Love those with whom it is your lot to live, and love them with sincere affection. Lesson number 40. A tool, an instrument, a utensil is in good case when it is fit for its proper work, yet its maker remains not by it. But within the organisms of nature there remains and resides the power which made them. You ought therefore to reverence this power the more, believing that if you act in deference to its will, all will happen to you in reason, for so in reason the universe ranges all. Lesson number 41. Whenever we imagine that anything which lies not in our power is good or evil for us, if the evil befall us, or if we miss the good, we inevitably blame the gods and hate the men who are, or whom we suspect to be, the cause of our disaster or our loss. Our solicitude about such things leads to much injustice, but if we judge only the things that are in our power to be good or evil, there is no reason left for accusing the gods or for hating men. Lesson number 42. We are all cooperating in one great work, some with knowledge and understanding, others ignorantly and without design. It is in this sense, I think, that Aurelius says that men are working even while they sleep, working together in all that is being done in the universe. Each works in a different way, and even those contribute abundantly who murmur and try to oppose and to frustrate the course of nature. The world has need even of such as these. It remains then for you to make sure which is the case in which you rank yourself. The presiding mind will assuredly use you to good purpose one way or another, and will enlist you among its laborers and fellow workers. But see to it that the part that falls to you lie not in the vulgar comic passage of a play of which Chrystus has spoken. Lesson number 43. Does the sun pretend to form the work of the rain, or Asclepius that of Ceres? What of the several stars? Are they not different, yet all jointly working for the same end? Lesson number 44. If the gods took counsel about me and what should befall me, doubtless the counsel was good. It is difficult to imagine gods wanting in forethought, and what could move them to do me wilful harm. What advantage would thence occur, either to themselves or to the universe, which is their special care? If they have not taken counsel about me in particular, they certainly have done so about the common interest of the universe, and I therefore should accept cheerfully and contentedly the fate which is the outcome of their ordinance. If indeed they take no counsel about anything, which it were impious to believe, then let us quit our sacrifices, our prayers, and our oaths, and all acts of devotion which we now perform as if they lived and moved amongst us. But granting that the gods take no thought for my affairs, I may still deliberate about myself. It is my business to consider my own interest. Now each man's interest is that which agrees with the structure of his nature, and my nature is rational and social. As Antonius, my city and my country is Rome. As a human being, it is the world. That alone, then, which profits these two cities can profit me. Lesson number 45. All that happens to the individual is of profit to the whole. This would suffice. But if you consider closely, you will see that it is also a general truth that all that happens to one man is of profit to the rest of mankind. Profit here should be taken in a somewhat general sense as referring to things different. Lesson number 46. In the amphitheater and other such resorts, the same or similar spectacles continually presented cloy at last. It is even so in all our experience of life. All things first and last are alike and like derived. What shall the end be? Lesson number 47. Think continually of all the men that are dead and gone, men of every sort and condition, of all manner of pursuits, and of every nation. Return back to Philiston, Phoebus, and origination. Pass down to other generations of the dead. We must all change our habitation and go to that place where there's so many great orators, so many venerable philosophers, Heraclitus, Pythagoras, Socrates, and so many heroes have gone before, and so many generals and princes have followed. Add to these Exodus, Hippicus, Archidemes, and other keen, great, laborious, cunning, and arrogant spirits. Yea, such as have wittedly derided this fading mortal life which is but for a day, as did Menippus and his brethren. Consider that all these are long since in their graves, and wherein here is the harm for them, or even for men whose names are not remembered. The one precious thing in life is to spend it in steady course of truth and justice, with kindliness even for the false and the unjust. Lesson number 48. When you would cheer your heart, consider the several excellencies of those that live around you. Consider the activity of one, the modesty of another, the generosity of a third, and the other virtues of the rest. Nothing rejoices the heart so much as instances, the more the better, of goodness manifested in the characters of those around us. Let us therefore have such instances ever presented for reflection. Lesson number 49. Are you grieved that you weigh only these few pounds, and not 300? If not, is there greater reason to sorrow if you live only so many great years and no longer? You are satisfied with your allotted quantity of matter. Content yourself then likewise with the span of time appointed to you. Lesson number 50. Try to persuade men to agree with you, but whether they agree or not, pursue the course you have marked out when the principles of justice point that way. Should one oppose you by force, act with resignation, and shew not that you are hurt. Use the obstruction for the exercise of some other virtue, and remember that your purpose involved in the reservation that you were not to aim at impossibilities. What, after all, was your aim? To make some good effort, such as this. Well, then you have succeeded, even though your first purpose be not accomplished. Lesson number 51. The vainglorious man places his happiness in the action of others. The sensualist finds it in his own good sensations. The wise man realizes it in his own work. Lesson number 52. You have it in your power to form no opinion about this or that, and so to have peace of mind. Things material have no power to form our opinions for us. Lesson number 53. Accustom yourself to attend closely to what is said by others, and as far as possible to penetrate into the mind of the speaker. Lesson number 54. What profits not the swarm profits not the bee. Lesson number 55. If the sailors relive their pilot or the sick their physician, whom will they follow or obey? And how will the one secure safety to the crew or the other health to the patients? Lesson number 56. How many who entered the world with me are already departed? Lesson number 57. To the jaundiced, honey seems bitter, and water is a thing of dread to those bitten by mad dogs. To boys a ball is a glorious thing. Why then am I angry? Has air in the mind less power than a little bile in the jaundice, or a little poison in him who is bitten? Lesson number 58. No man can prevent you from living according to the plan of your nature, and nothing can befall you which is contrary to the plan of nature of the universe. Lesson number 59. Consider what men are, whom they seek to please, and what they expect to gain, and how they go about to compass their ends. Think how soon eternity will shroud all things, and how such is already shrouded. End of the 6th book.